You're tuned in to Wifed Up. Now what? This is your podcast for millennial marriage management advice. I'm Koereyelle.
Yes, and I am TK. And you are tuned in for the Grown Woman TV original podcast. Y'all know what to do. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Y'all know the rules. And while you at it, go ahead and get that Roku app.
Let's do it. So y'all, we got some special guests in the building. Pan the cameras. Show our guests. There they are, mommy and mommy and mommy.
What's happening?
In the building.
In the building.
Yes.
Man of God. I got that from
Yes. I love
be
it.
like, why you say that? And be like, come on, man
I
of
love
God.
when you say that now.
Yes. Come on,
That's what's
speaking
up.
life.
Thank you.
So we got the husbands in the building, y'all. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
How's everybody doing? I'm Kendrick.
And my name is Nnamdi.
And y'all know us by
Yes.
now. By now, y'all know us. Kendrick and I have been married for going on 3 years. 3 years, January 2024. It'll be 3 years.
Okay.
What about y'all?
7
years.
Oh, wow.
Just September, 8 years together. It
Yes.
feels like a cool little decade.
Feel like it.
Congratulations.
So y'all
Is a
approaching that
7-year
10
itch
years.
Thing, a thing?
What's the itch?
I don't know.
Girl, I feel like
I don't
we
know
had
what that
that
means.
year one. You talking about like when
I don't know.
start
People say
divorcing?
7-year itch. What does that mean, really? Do you know?
Well,
You
they
don't
don't
start
got
having issues, I guess.
I feel like
it's
people
like
are.
when you...
I feel like people are meaning like that's when you're like, I might want to try something else.
Yeah, I feel
Did
like
I make the right decision? Maybe I want a new husband. But I feel like we went through that early.
yeah,
Like,
for sure. We did that.
If you go
Yeah.
through something early, like...
Yeah, we went through
Yeah,
that
it
our
was
first
rough.
2 to 3 years, and I feel like we just now reaching our peak.
Yeah, for
Really?
sure.
So
Yeah.
what year was rough for y'all?
Oh, baby. 1 through 4.
1 through 4.
Hey, babe, come on, give us a little
1 through
grace at 4.
1, 2,
I
3.
can't fool us.
You can't single
No,
it out
four-
to 1 year?
4 is when we started climbing. 1 through 3, but that
Yeah.
was
That was 2
How much
babies,
time we
though,
got?
right?
4.
Back to
So
the
jumped in on 2 bonus babies. Got pregnant immediately, and then we got married in September, and we were pregnant again in November.
Okay, getting
So
to
it was
Yeah, I was in the honeymoon phase.
Yeah. That didn't. Honeymoon is now happening. Like it did not happen. We skipped it. I don't even think we
Y'all had to
dated.
get to it. Y'all had to
We
just
didn't
jump
date.
right in.
We did. So
had
yeah,
to-
we went through. That's what we tell people all the time. Like when it comes to choosing wrong timing, all of that. Like you delay honeymoon. You delay like just being able to vibe with your man. So now we are finally stepping into like.
The ease.
Thank you. This
ease
is
of it.
this
Okay,
is
that's what's up.
beautiful.
Let's
Get
Yeah.
the hang of this thing now.
Did we have a rough year? Did we have any? I
would say
we ain't got
no.
1 through 4, obviously.
I mean, we went through
'Cause
some
we are
things,
only-
but it wasn't really like relation. I think it was just life. Life was
Life
happening.
stuff.
You know what I mean? And
yeah.
I think that kind of brought us
I think
closer, for sure.
similar to y'all though. We got engaged in April, pregnant in June.
During the
Okay.
pandemic,
And then-
had that.
Oh, okay.
Married in January. You know, like it all came really quick
pretty
in the
quick.
middle of the pandemic. So I think that brought challenges.
Okay.
Which today we're talking about divorce. So it's like you get into marriage, and even before you get into marriage, a lot of times you're met with all of these statistics. We know the
Yes.
statistics about the divorce rate, but what are we really doing about it? And so this conversation is gonna get a little deep. We're gonna get into
Fast,
it.
okay.
We're gonna see if anybody has mentioned the dreaded D word. And it's gonna get a little deep. So before we get deep though, let's scratch the surface. Okay. I'm going to
let's
start
get
with a
into it.
statistic. Okay. Because this is an education based podcast. We got some statistics. 80% of pro athletes end up in divorce. And I thought this was an appropriate statistic for the fellas because I would love for you all to share why you think it might be that 80%, because I think the big statistic overall is like 50%, right? You got 50-50 chance.
Gosh,
But for pro athletes to be at 80%, what do y'all think is contributing?
I believe it's just
Pretty easy.
just access, access to excess. Like they can get whatever it is that they want.
Yeah.
So it's this entitlement. So you don't they look at they women. They may look at them more like a maid. Like, hey, I can replace you with anybody because I got the money, I got the status, and all of that. But the crazy thing is once most of them retire, it's gone.
Yeah.
And you
Money
know,
gone, the women gone.
women
Just-
gone, everything, and they probably wish that they would have hung on to the woman that started out with them. They day ones, they usually get rid of them and go get them some like model type chick who eventually they end up getting a divorce from and take half. So, yeah, when you got all that money, man,
Access
It's
to
different
access.
mindset.
really,
Access
like you
to
said,
access.
they don't value relationship as much probably, and also picking wrong. I mean, when you got excess money, like you're gonna attract a lot, and sometimes it's harder to go through that selection process with a clear mind versus your ego. most of these guys, they looking at what the chick look like versus who she is as a person.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
I don't think. Are y'all anybody surprised by that? By 80%?
I'm not surprised.
No,
at all.
80% is huge.
80% seem low.
Are you
I
surprised?
think it's
Yeah,
probably
surprised.
90%.
80?
Maybe
That's like 100.
We're talking about athletes though. This is like
Yeah, I guess so.
athletes, they going to different.
Yeah.
They're going to different states, and many of them say before you even get to your room, there's women in the lobby.
in the
And
stairwell.
some of them
Some
are
of them
so
get to
slick,
the room.
they'll get to the room,
Yeah.
and they're already
terrible.
there. So you got to be strong to say, "Oh, wow, hey, how did you get? You got to go." Like, you know what I'm saying?
And imagine
let's
the
think about
willpower
the
to do that
age.
every week.
Let's think about the age of most professional athletes.
super young.
They haven't reached that stage to where they're actually thinking about their
Yeah.
future outside of basketball, football,
Facts.
women, sex.
No, that's true.
So what
parties,
can be?
you know
So
what I mean?
do you think it's just the culture? Is this just is what it is in that world, or is there something that could be done?
I believe it will take the older professional athletes really mentoring the young guys. Just letting them know, listen, hey man, I've been there, man. I know you want to do all this, that, and other. Letting them know some of the scars that they got
Scottie
from
Pippens.
that. Right.
You know?
I was going to
Right.
say, isn't there somebody, a man that was like, my biggest regret
Shaq
was...
just came out and
Shaq.
talked about.
and somebody
else did.
He has like
recently.
his own podcast or something like that.
Who was it?
I can't remember.
Not Shannon.
He has on...
Not Shannon.
Uncle
You know what I'm
Shane?
talking about.
Talking about Shannon Sharp?
Yeah,
I think
Tabitha
it
was
might have
on
been.
there.
I think it might have been.
Yeah,
He
Shannon
said he
Sharp.
wasn't the
Yeah.
best. He
Yeah,
said he
he
wasn't the
was-
best
Oh, and
father.
Genuine
Yeah, he was committed to football.
Yes.
he
Genuine
said
Facts.
basically he was
Nothing wrong with
committed.
that.
He was so committed to football that he couldn't be
Yes.
a good
Yeah.
father,
Yeah.
good husband,
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, I agree with that,
That came
like-
first before anything.
Yeah.
And that's what it is for most of these guys. I mean, they make their money being great at something, so they're not going to sacrifice that for anybody, let alone a woman.
Yeah.
You know.
It's hard out here.
Why
But
is that sacrificing? Why? I wonder why that's not.
I mean, I think you got to
addition
think about the
them.
ego of the average professional athlete.
that has
Most
been a
of them
professional. I mean, that has
have
been that
been
great for their whole lives.
the biggest whatever in their hometown,
Yeah.
in high school, in their middle school, in their college. So by the time they get to the league, you know, it's that ego is out of control. You know what I mean? I done been around some of these guys. So,
So
I mean,
do you think that a woman who is entertaining a professional athlete should know what she's getting herself into? Like she should expect that he's going to.
I can't really speak for these guys because everybody isn't the same, but
Yeah.
90+%, I mean, more than likely. I mean, I think most women know what they get into. I mean,
was
we've
gonna
had
say
this
that.
conversation before, and I was like, I don't feel sorry. Like, they know what time
Exactly.
I mean, I think
For sure.
Yeah.
it is. You know,
I was gonna say
they
the
know
same
what they're
thing.
getting into. I mean, the average man, I can say the average man is
Go on
unfaithful,
and
but
say
the
it.
average man
Let's talk about it.
has maybe options in the world, or at least wants options. But like you said, if you got,
Yeah.
and we ain't talking about just regular women. I mean, they're attracting Victoria's Secret models. I mean, let's keep it
Really?
real.
Yeah.
So,
Oh.
I mean, they just don't have the, I don't know. I mean, as a man, it's at
Self-control.
23, 24, 25.
Self-control.
I mean, the self-control, yeah. They don't have the
I couldn't
self-control
even imagine.
to hold off the caliber of women they're attracting, let alone the number of women. I mean, most dudes just knock down anything,
So ladies,
That's true.
you know?
Don't do
know
it.
what you're getting yourself into. In my single days, I definitely used to say no athletes, no actors, no police, no pastors.
Smart move.
I had a little list. You
That's
know,
a list,
athletes was
Cole.
definitely on the and
But I feel like most women,
in there?
I feel like most women when they're young, that's
they might have been at the top.
That's like their goal. That's,
it's like a
that's
trophy
like
for them.
that was
Yes.
what I
That's
was
the
going to
goal.
say.
You know, the athlete.
most of
I mean,
the
because in our
women-
community, that's who has the money, that's who has the status.
In my opinion, most women who marry an athlete, that wasn't the first athlete they dated.
Yeah, no.
Most women
true.
are in.
That is true.
They,
They're
where
in the
y'all
circle.
be? I don't know, but they be in the same.
Yeah, I mean,
They make sure they in the club.
places and spaces.
That is very true.
So we're getting into this conversation on, of course, divorce. But I also want to talk about just society and like the impact of 2023, social media, reality TV, all of the things. So we got some stuff to react to, y'all. And I want y'all's honest opinions. Okay, so first question before we get into this reaction video. And this is kind of a trick question, so answer wisely. Do you all feel that surgery, any kind of cosmetic surgery, automatically means that you're insecure? Yay or nay?
I wouldn't say automatic. I mean, it depends on what it is.
Okay.
Sometimes cosmetic is more than just vanity, though. You know, it can be like a legitimate issue.
Okay, I just mean frivolous cosmetic.
BBL.
Yeah,
All right,
BBL.
let's keep it
BBL.
there.
Not
What we
like
talking
laser
about?
eye
We
surgery.
talking
Right.
about
No,
we
not
talking
that.
about the bodies.
We're talking about the
Yes.
Okay, all right, cool.
Okay. Yes or no? Automatic insecure or no?
I wouldn't necessarily go to insecure, but you don't love yourself fully.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, insecure.
We argue about this all the time.
Yeah, I would say that there is some type of insecurity there, whatever that part that you're getting done, especially if you're doing more than one part. Like, you got the breast done. Now you need to get the booty. Now you need to get okay, you just don't love yourself. We got something deeper going on, and you will never, get that part complete unless you go get some real healing. You're gonna end up looking like a transformer in a little bit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what some of them end up looking like.
Have y'all noticed, not to cut you off, but have y'all noticed that everybody starts looking the same?
Oh, for sure.
After they get
order
the
the
surgeries?
same.
They go to the same
I don't
doctor,
care
too.
what procedure they get, but the faces start to look the same.
Yeah.
Lil' Kim, everybody
That's
looks the
extreme.
same now.
Refer to the same doctor.
Yeah, it's
you
like-
said.
Yeah, they doing the same.
Why would you wanna look like
they're
that?
using the same stencils.
So it's an automatic.
But what's your answer, Tekeishia? Because y'all argue about it all the time. So what's your
We
argument?
do. Yes and no. So yes, because I have definitely had conversations about surgery with my husband, and it absolutely came from a place of insecurity on one end, and then on the other end, I'm like, I just want to be even better than I am. It wasn't even like this deep insecurity. It was just like I'm on TV,
can
I'm
be
on
better,
camera.
I'm
it
like,
can be
I see
better.
something I can fix
If
to
it
make
can
it
be-
better.
Yeah, this can be
I feel you.
lifted. It can be lifted.
Oh, look at you.
I know, but I'm saying
Like
She said badder.
she don't
Exactly.
even like it's just like
exactly.
God gave you all
So
of
you
that.
could. So your opinion is you could feel like you're a bad bee, but you could get better.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
there are little nicks and knacks that can happen, but I think for the most of us, girl, we are competing with other women. We're seeing the women with an even smaller waist, even bigger booty, and you will begin to look at your very perfect body, by the way, and be like,
Maybe I could just.
maybe this could be smaller. Maybe this could be bigger. And don't let your man be breaking his neck to those type of women. Don't let the men around you. That's one of the Nicki Minaj said that. She was like, I wouldn't have got nothing done had I not seen the rappers that were around me breaking their necks for the other girls that had the shots. And so now I'm like,
You gotta compete.
that's what it is to keep y'all attention or whatever. And so I think half and half. I think some of us just want to be a little
It's like, why not just.
more.
The mommy makeover type, just
you
snap
know, if
back.
your body has gone to
I'm
war.
not mad
Girl,
at you.
Then
for
that's
that.
a different conversation.
If that's something
It's a
that you and your
different
husband
conversation.
agree upon, you know what I mean? Like, I'm
So
cool
is
with
it
that.
different if you're married?
If you're married, I think it's different.
Okay. Just want to know. Okay. A man goes to Turkey and pays $81,000 to get leg lengthening surgery.
Fool.
So my question is, do you all feel the same if it's a man getting a surgery? Or is it a woman with a BBL? Is it a man with a knee BL? Y'all, they called it a knee BL. It's the new thing. So
A
is
knee
this...
BL.
So he went to Turkey, paid $81,000, ended up getting 2 procedures done. The first one, he went to 5'9". The second one, he went to 6 feet. He thought about going back to get a third one.
Yeah, that's
So,
how it goes.
Thoughts?
That's kind of dope.
I believe
I think
it's-
that's extreme. That's extreme. 80,000.
Okay, yeah.
Hold
Get
on.
your legs stretched.
Crazy.
It's an insecurity.
Yeah, you got little
like
man
it is with the
syndrome.
woman. Yeah,
you got little man
insecurity.
complex.
And
or
again,
whatever.
like I said, once you get that first little hit, you keep
go.
going
Yeah, we
back
gonna
for
come back and be
more.
6'5"?
Now this is, I got to be taller and taller and taller. It's just something that you need to go deeper and deeper in therapy on, that you need to deal with, because you just won't ever pay enough money to be
fill that void.
To fill
the
that
fact that he
void.
told people about it.
I know.
It's doing interviews.
That's the worst part.
So apparently
I'm like,
how
is
it
this-
works is there's a knob that they break your bone
They break
and then
your bone,
they
they stretch it.
put a knob that they can basically
And they
twist,
twist
and
it.
you can
They
get
keep
it
stretching your
readjusted.
bones,
My
basically.
goodness,
Yeah.
people are
It sounds painful.
This is a perfect example of social media and just the society.
I was
that
gonna
we're
say
in.
it sounds like propaganda.
Because if
almost,
nobody
like,
knew
you know what I mean?
nothing about their neighbor, if we didn't know the girls with the BBLs, if you didn't know the man that was 6'5", if y'all didn't know that women all of a sudden like 6'2", y'all wouldn't even be thinking about this.
It wouldn't even be a
stuff.
conversation.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even be a conversation.
Look at the old movies. Like if you look at the Foxy Browns with Pam Grier and like look at those old movies. All the women were just nice
Natural.
and slim.
And natural,
Yeah,
yeah.
natural. You know, now we got the steroids in the food and everybody got thick.
Everybody think that.
The
ain't the food,
13-year-olds be looking. I must have showed Nnamdi the other day, an 18-year-old. I said, babe, how old do you think she is? He said
30.
28.
Yeah, it's
Said-
28, yeah.
That is
That's
the
a-
life that we live. Yeah.
sad.
That's why having these conversations are important. So last social media question. Husbands, is liking pictures cheating?
Cheating.
I don't think it's cheating, but it could be inappropriate and disrespectful.
Okay.
But I mean, liking a picture? Cheating?
It's a social media question. I mean, I didn't come up.
No, this is big actually.
It's a big
Women-
thing. I think it is disrespectful if there's a repetitive pattern of, it's like for a man, for instance. We ain't gonna talk about that, but you say I like certain.
He loves, let me tell you what he likes. He like watching workout videos, specifically squats. He loves watching women do squat videos.
Turn the backwards way.
Girl, yeah.
Okay.
Any squat, any a power squat, a deep squat. He want to see a squat.
Do I like to see
and his wife ain't at the house
people
doing
working
no
out?
squats.
Maybe, yeah. Do I
likes-
admire people that have the
Interesting.
discipline to stay fit?
Oh my
maybe.
gosh, I admire
But am I
that
watching squat videos all day? Stop it.
He only follows squat accounts. So what do y'all
Who
think?
has squat accounts?
You do.
I don't think it's cheating, but you definitely it definitely does ring a little bit like, hey, a warning sign there. Like, hey, we need to check into this. It's a conversation need to be had. I noticed that you keep liking a certain woman, certain man stuff or certain woman stuff. We need to have a conversation about that. Definitely.
Look, I ain't even gonna cap. When I be seeing girls with their inappropriate pictures and I be seeing y'all husbands' names under those likes, I feel sorry for y'all wives. I feel sorry for y'all women.
Girl.
Because
It ain't
it
me.
is a public
ain't me,
embarrassment.
baby.
I feel like because
It
social
is.
media is so prevalent, it's the same as if, like I've been in stores the other day in Sprouts. Nnamdi's in front of me. A man is in front of him. Dude turns around and literally mouths to me, "You are fine as F." And I feel like that's the same. Yeah, he didn't know. I'm like, that's the same type of disrespect to like boldly like another wife, boldly like another husband. It's the same type of disrespect via social media. Like when you see your husband liking the same
And it's
booty, the
so
same,
right there.
Yeah.
his big old face,
His big old name.
I think sometimes
liked
people
by-
forget that
People
everybody
see
can
that.
see this.
everybody.
I think sometimes you think like, this is my phone,
Yeah,
this is my
my
account.
thing.
I can like what I want,
Yeah.
but your little head popped up on that picture, brother.
Yeah, it's
It
right
says
there.
We see you.
It's right
You
there.
and
I've
others
seen-
like
And
this.
others.
I've seen
Yeah.
people personally where it's like, I know you married, I know your wife, and you liking somebody's picture that somebody else that I know that I'm just
Somebody
like, wait a
else,
minute.
what is
You know
going
what I mean? It's
on
like,
up in here? So
So I check myself sometimes.
Yeah,
I
check
unfollow.
yourself.
Oh, I
check
see.
yourself.
I'll be
sometimes.
like, all
I
right.
think it's levels to the
If
type of
it's a
picture
married
too.
woman, especially, and she
Yeah.
posting too much, I'll
Yeah.
unfollow you.
Yes.
Good.
I don't want to be.
As you
I
should.
don't want to see
Smart
that.
man.
I think too, though. I think liking is one thing, but a comment though,
Ooh.
a comment,
Yeah, the comment.
Yeah,
an
you really like that.
emoji.
Yeah.
Anything.
Oh yeah.
Like you felt so strong. You liked it so much. You had to tell her you liked it.
You had to be seen.
You had.
You
You
let-
wanted
her to
everybody
see
to
you.
know you
Ring
liked
the alarm.
Or
He's
him
close
or
to
whoever
cheating.
it is.
You wanted an individual.
Ring
Now,
the
that's-
alarm.
That's close to cheating.
Yeah,
though. Now,
he's
the
close to
emojis
cheating.
is like you're soliciting at this point.
Yeah.
It's like,
Really?
you want a response.
I ain't even
So I feel
gonna
like
cap.
you ain't.
The men that I have seen comment, the men that we have seen the emojis have cheated and ended up
Those
divorced.
cheating.
For sure.
Yeah,
I
those,
promise.
those are the people.
Like the men that me and I, we be like,
Yeah.
why is this man? Why is he liking her pictures? Next thing we know,
If he got a comment along with it, we've seen some that's pretty. You got a pretty good marriage, and they
It's
they do the
suspect.
liking.
So
levels to
that's
it.
a great question. That's a great
Levels.
point. So is that a red flag, orange flag, yellow flag? That there's some trouble in paradise if your husband or wife is out here liking and commenting and doing all the things.
Yellow flag if they're just liking. Red flag if they're commenting something too. Yeah.
Most likely they sliding in.
If they
in stories and
continuously
everything.
liking, it's a red flag.
Continue. Yeah.
Like if you liking
a
the same
habitual.
person all the time.
You like her. You like her.
I didn't speak the social media language at first, but like if it's too many likes on there, that means something.
If I
You know what I
come
mean?
to
I
your
mean, somebody
page
tell
and
me
I
that,
show up
like,
in your notification
that
because I
means
didn't like
something,
10 posts, then yeah, I'm trying to get your attention.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to get your attention. If I leave an emoji with heart eyes, or star eyes, hands up, a clap, you trying to get a response, bro.
You are
Too
trying
much
to-
looking
Doing
good,
too much.
sis.
You know what I mean?
And I think it's
Enjoy it in private. Move on. Whatever. You know what I mean? Don't
Send it to
be
your group chat and
liking
keep on moving.
and
Not the
post.
group-
You know what I mean?
group chat is-
Send to the group chat. Yeah,
That's
keep it
what-
in the group
that's-
chat.
The
I was
cheating
gonna say,
zone right there.
I think it's
the damn
even
group chat.
worse if the type of women that you're liking is completely opposite to your wife.
That part.
So you got a dark skinned, beautiful Nigerian queen, and all of the women you like is Asians, and it's like,
What is happening?
what's going on right here? What is this?
So let's tell the truth.
I've seen that before.
like,
it
let's
ain't
talk about
Asians, but it
fetish.
might be
Like, what is
some
this thing?
Brazilians.
Let's talk
you
about
know
what
what I
you
mean? It's
really
like,
like.
what?
Yeah.
So Meek put out a clip, and he said that he was sitting next to his homeboy,
I was thinking.
watching his homeboy liking his girl's social media, looking at his girl's social media and being able to see her naked. on her page.
I'm sitting here looking at my homie phone. He's scrolling past my girl with her ass all out. He acting like he ain't see it, but I know he's seen it. I don't see his girl ass every day, but he get a chance to see my girl ass, panties on Instagram. That's kind of degrading.
Yeah.
I ain't judging people that I just don't.
Hold on, so Meek's girls, social
Meek's
media.
girls. So he's hanging with his homies.
And his homie
has the ability to pull up his girl's Instagram
And she
and
pop
see her
up
in her
half
panties,
naked. He
see her
it,
in.
and he scrolled by it like I ain't see it.
So he's having this conversation on the podcast, and he's basically like, "Well, you can do that to my girl, but I can't do that to your girl because your girl is not online. He can't pull up Tekeisha's panty pictures on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
He's probably not gonna find that.
Not one.
So." How do you all think, because that is social media, right? Those panty pictures might have been from when she's single. 9 times out of 10, she's not going to delete them all now that she's in a relationship.
Oh, she should.
No, she should.
Okay, so that's the conversation. What are like the rules of engagement on social media? Is that like your past life that should be at least archived when you're in a relationship? Or like, how do we navigate this?
It depends on the man's preference. If that's what he wants, then you should definitely honor that. You should get rid of those because his homies can look and be like, "Oh, dang, I ain't seen every bit of your girl, but her taking off the panties." Basically, I seen the butt cheeks, everything.
I need to use my imagination.
That could be very embarrassing.
Embarrassing. That part.
So I say, definitely need to take it off, take it all the way off, delete it.
Because what's the point of keeping it up there?
Attention.
You want attention.
Attention is the new currency.
Because we even did that.
So
We kind of,
like-
even though we didn't have nothing crazy.
Definitely not.
You went through that much just to make sure that
yeah.
every you had a picture of X still on there. I didn't even know.
Oh, yeah.
She went through there,
I
deleted.
got this picture with this man
Delete,
still on
please.
there.
Yeah, and she went. Yeah, and we went through hers and made sure everything was good too. So yeah.
But it kind of go back to the athlete conversation we were having because I feel like they pick a lot of those women.
Come on.
You know,
To do what with them, though?
it's almost
are
like
y'all
what you said,
marrying
bro.
them?
It's almost like even if they do marry him, they see him as like a trophy. So it's like,
Accessory.
look what I have. You can't have this.
Yeah.
You can see it, but you can't touch it. You know what I mean? That's kind of like what it is for a lot of guys.
And that's, to be honest with you, remember I told you before I got saved, and
possession.
really got into the faith and all that. Like that's how I felt. I wouldn't have. My girl with her cleavage out and butt almost showing it, I wouldn't even tripped on it because again, I know I'm walking in the room and everybody see that and they're gonna be like, "Dang, look
That's
at
your
That's you,
girl.
bro. That's you.
look at Nandi, you know what I'm saying?"
You know how it is when you come around your homeboys
And I didn't even notice it until I really got under some different leadership and was like, okay, wow. And they were talking about modesty and all that. And I was like, yeah, I want a woman that's covered. Nobody really seen. They can kind of look at it
different,
and
ain't
maybe think, but it's not all revealed for them. Man, I want a present that I can unwrap and not everybody else can see what it looked like on the inside.
Come on, Bars.
You know what I'm saying?
So Sierra recently was on the red carpet
Oh, yeah.
with her husband, Russell Wilson, in a pretty scandalous dress. Question. Do you think it could be what you just referenced? Like, well, this is my girl, so it gives me a little something to show up. That's half the question. Then the other half is it more acceptable if you're with your husband? Like, if I want to wear a butt naked dress and I'm going out with my homegirls, that's different. But if I want to wear a butt naked dress and my man is taking me out or we're on vacation, does that make it different? Yeah. From a husband?
If you're on vacation and we're
vacation.
in private, like to where it's not like she was on
Like in
you
the
said a
room?
red carpet or something, right?
She was at an event.
That's
yeah.
different.
She was
Like,
at,
she
like,
wasn't at the
Grammys or
resort.
something.
She wasn't at the pool. She wasn't at the private party to where we can control who has access to see you. You show this to the world freely.
So it depends on the environment. Is
It
your
depends on the environment, but it also depends on the person. Like, let's just keep it real. Like, Russell and Sierra are not, what's the word y'all want to use?
Talk about it. Come on.
Equally yoked, compatible, on the same level, whatever. They're not
You look at
of
him,
the
you look at me
same,
like,
they ain't of the same
yeah.
cloth. If
Y'all-
that makes
you don't
sense.
think so?
I think you can change over time, but she hasn't changed fast
There you
enough.
go. No, real
Fast
talk.
enough.
To me, she's become a mother. She looks the part at times, but
At times.
she shows you who she is. When that music cut on and, she go to moving the body, she can't help it. It's
Not
just,
and she go to
that's
moving the
part
body.
of who she is.
So you agree, Tekeishia?
Girl.
Did y'all see Russell's first wife?
It doesn't. No.
No, hold on.
Y'all haven't seen
I didn't know he
That's,
was
I think that's part of
You
the.
say Russell's first
I
wife?
think
Yeah,
that's part of the
It's
conversation
a
that's
white,
missing.
a white woman.
So this
was
is
she like
He was
an
married
artist?
before. Yeah.
Like covered.
He was.
I won't
like,
say
you'll
all
have
that.
to look
I
at
want
it.
y'all to look
You'll
at
have
that. That
Okay.
could be. Let's pull that video up.
I gotta see that. I
draft
didn't know,
date.
I didn't know his.
I didn't know he'd
Look
been
at that.
married before.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Don't
been
pull
married
it up,
before.
please.
Yeah.
Someone outside the culture.
When I saw her and knowing him, knowing he's a Christian man and all that, I was like,
This is
hold on.
confusing.
So he had to accept her walking out the house like that. But then again, I kind of looked at the picture. He didn't look too happy either.
And he's
know
in
what
the
I mean?
picture posing right next to her.
Yeah,
though. It's like,
he didn't look too happy. But this is like maybe the second time that she's done something like that. So
That we know of.
she might run the house.
She might run. Yeah,
might be like,
pretty sure she.
And I'm gonna put this on. This is who I am. This is who you married. Deal with it.
I mean,
That's terrible. Yeah. Y'all know I got strong feelings about this. When it comes to women just, wait a minute.
Go ahead. she gotta make sure.
You gotta
Y'all
say it
have been
right now.
canceled so many
You gotta
times.
say it right. I'm telling
TikTok
you.
hates me.
I will get my wife canceled
Please
in a
don't
minute.
get your wife canceled in this.
Because I don't
Canceled,
care.
I got canceled just 2 days ago.
Yeah, they.
I don't know. I feel like because when you're when you are naked as a woman, like when you are showing every part of your body, that takes intentionality.
Intention,
You
yes.
have to be intentional to say, the only thing you're not going to see is
My
My
hair.
vagina at this point.
The hair.
that's the right. That's the only thing that
Where
you're
it's
not going
supposed
to
to
see.
be.
I feel like that takes some intention to be like, when I step out this house, y'all about to see everything. What that shows me is two things. Help me, Lord. One, your man doesn't respect you. Two, he doesn't have respect for himself, because any stand-up man does not want his woman. Think about Pastor so-and-so and Megan Good.
Same thing.
Yeah,
Same
yeah.
thing.
The bond.
That was
But,
the
but here's the
example I
example.
thought.
As soon as they got a divorce, she was back to the streets.
She reverted back to who she was.
Exactly. And so what that shows me is that these women, they weren't really ready for marriage. They weren't really ready for what it costs to be a wife. They wanted whatever it is to get off the streets for a little bit, to have that protection, to have whatever the status quo. But as soon as they get divorced, they back to being a thought. As soon as they get divorced, they back to smashing all the football players. And it's like, when are y'all going to see these type of women are not the best wife material?
the
Let me just say
streets.
that. If they're not ready
Can they
to.
become wife
For the
material?
streets.
Can they become? What do you think? Is it?
I don't
Can
think
their
that-
heart be changed?
Yes, but I don't think it should happen in marriage.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that I think as a man, you should see that woman preparing to be a wife already before you try to go take a hoe, take a thought. Oh, can I say hoe?
Girl, you can
say
say
that.
whatever.
Okay. Before you try to take a hoe and then put her in your house and say, cover up.
Yeah.
Housewife, become a housewife.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you can't do that. Like,
It don't happen like that.
begin to see her change.
Yeah.
Begin to see her, because she has to want that for herself, not you. I have to want to be a presentable woman. I have to want to be a woman of character, of noble. I have to want that, because when you don't love me, guess what? I can go out in these streets, get naked, and see the next Negro turn his head. Dang, look at that. So if I'm not secure in who I am by myself alone, I'll immediately become,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the hoe again.
Yeah.
Come on, the
Yeah,
hoe again.
they generally revert back. I mean,
All the time.
I haven't seen many instances where it works.
Where you can where
There's
she
been
can
a
be
change in
transformer.
behavior. It's
Not
usually
within the
temporary,
marriage.
but over time.
All right, guys.
But yeah, look up Russell's first wife.
I gotta look that up,
No, the man
man.
is
Look up this-
married.
Pause the video and look
look
up
up
his
Russell's
first wife
first
and
wife,
come back
'cause,
and
no,
let us know in the
that's
comments what
crazy.
you think about her. Okay.
So,
So we had an episode where we talked to a panel of wives, and I think it's going to be very interesting to hear from the husbands on some of these same topics. And I might go back on some of the things I said. So if I do, just act like I didn't say anything
Okay,
different.
roll with it.
My first question for y'all: do you believe that there are deal breakers? Is there a such thing as deal breakers in marriage? And if so, do you happen to have any?
Deal breakers before marriage?
No, in marriage,
Like,
as a
once
married
you get
man,
married,
right now
if you
to
do
them.
this, I'm leaving.
Yes.
Yep.
On the a deal breaker is like one time over with.
we divorcing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, he
I can tell you
I
first.
can't.
I'm ready.
I mean, I know for sure there are some things, if you did, it wouldn't be no coming back from, but it's hard to just say that outright.
So is the answer yes, there are deal breakers or no?
There's deal breakers, yes.
Okay.
Of
Nnamdi?
course.
Definitely some deal
Yes,
breaker.
deal
It's
Definitely.
It's a deal breaker. Cheating, deal
Yeah,
breaker.
no, it's-
The deal is broke.
It's
Deal
over. I just believe that, woman had enough time to think because she had to slide them off. She had to open up.
Yeah,
she
y'all
had to
got-
let them insert.
Y'all got more than
all of
enough
that. So yes, you did that. I will never treat you the same again.
So she's not your wife anymore, or you just look at her different.
No. It's we go ahead and get it done. We got to go ahead and get the divorce. It's over. I cannot. I would low key torture her. I don't think I'm to that maturity level where I can, go ahead and just move on and keep forgiving again. Because when you forgive, you got to forgive again, and you got to keep forgiving because there's going to be things that trigger you. It's like, hold on, you see a dude out in the mall that looked like the dude that she dealt with, and then you like, oh, okay, and then you start thinking about it again. You're gonna be upset again, so you got to forgive again. I don't think I'm strong enough to do that in that particular spot. Yeah.
Is there levels to cheating?
Levels?
That is a deal breaker. So obviously we know that intercourse actually going all the way is so inappropriate DMs, text messages, emotional attachments.
Yeah, the intercourse is the highest level.
Okay.
And then you got the emotional where
You're
I
leaving
found
off of
out y'all are y'all inboxing with each other, or you having some conversations, or you sending some pictures and things of that sort. That's just like, a lower level. I know some people who's made
deal broke?
who's made
Yeah, but
no, it's not. Is it a deal breaker for me on that?
Emotional attachments via
I think
text
it's- I
message.
think
No,
that
I think
might-
that's workable.
You think it's worse?
I don't know about that. The
Ooh, that's a
emotional
good
part
one. Go ahead.
of a woman, man, that's a different type of attachment she has to that man. You know what I
With
mean?
the DMs?
Like, think about when we first met.
With a
and,
DM
like,
or just intimate
I'm
conversation?
saying intimate conversation. I think once it slides out of the DM and
To
the
the phone.
picture responding, it's intent now. Like, once we on each other's phone in text message, sending pictures, like you said, having conversations about our day and what's going on tomorrow and
Your birthday.
the birth. Yeah. That's at that point is over.
So
As
what's your
far
deal
as,
breaker?
like,
You have a deal breaker?
what you would do. You may not have actually done the act, but you've already prepared yourself mentally to
That's true.
take on this man.
Premeditated.
So wait, that's a deal
Yeah, you know
breaker.
what I mean?
It's not premeditated. So is that a deal breaker?
I think if you have an intimate relationship with somebody and you're married, that's a deal breaker.
Wow.
What if somebody intentionally hurt your child?
Intentionally hurt your
Like
child.
physically?
Yeah. I mean,
It's over.
yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, to the point where like you harmed the child
Intentionally.
intentionally. Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, I guess
That's a deal breaker.
the broader conversation is outside of cheating. Is there anything else? Any other deal breakers?
Yeah, just like physical abuse.
Okay.
So yeah, like women.
So
can-
if I slap you,
yes.
You're not going to divorce her if on the first slap.
Okay, not the first
not
one.
gonna
No,
divorce-
If
You're right.
slap
Like a
me,
repetitive.
Are you going to
repetitive.
slap me again?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Probably.
Probably. And so for me,
but we would
But that
tell
probably
women.
wasn't the
we're
first time.
We would tell women to leave though.
True, on the first slap.
Exactly.
True.
Yeah, y'all would. And so it has to be a repetitive thing for me.
Okay.
So unfortunately, in my past, I had some of those type of
slaps.
relationships
So
where
you got the
I
scar
had
on
some
your arm.
punches out of that. Yeah, I had a lot of
Look,
different
zoom
things.
in on-
No, don't do that. But yeah, I've
still
been
got war wounds?
I got war wounds. So one thing I told her when we got, I
Don't
said,
touch
"Hey,
me.
I don't even."
Yeah, I don't play by that
One
either.
time
Yeah,
she was
that's-
like, "Yeah,
that's
we
not-
play." I'm like, "No, I don't even want to
I
play."
don't even want to play.
I don't even
I
wanna
told her
play
that.
with
Like, I don't even want to play
I'll be
when
ready.
we talking about
Yeah.
like
come
me,
on.
You know, I
Yeah,
don't-
she wanted to play slap. No, baby.
No.
I
We're not-
can't
I'm
do
not
that.
doing that with
I got PTSD. I can't do
I
it.
might accident. Yeah, that part. Okay, so
Yeah.
so my
But I think the
my
attachment to
concern-
another man is the deal breaker.
My concern with the conversation is that is always the answer from the fellas. It is, if my wife is unfaithful, I cannot handle that. It is over. However, when the question is the other way around, if I say, would you expect your wife to leave you? Let me ask my husband. If I say,
Like, I already know it.
if I say, would you expect your wife to leave you on the day she found out you cheated on her, you would expect her to go file the divorce papers? I just feel like y'all would not say yes, that would be your expectation. That's the challenge I have
Do
with
I
the
expect
question.
you to leave me? No, but if you left me, I wouldn't be like surprised. Like I wouldn't, you know what I mean? Like I would.
It would be justified.
I mean, because we've had this conversation, I wouldn't expect you to leave me. But if you left me, you would be justified in doing so. If that makes sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like I understand why you're leaving,
Yeah.
and it's nothing I can really do about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like he said,
get it.
because we've had the conversation, I expect her to. Now, don't get it wrong. I would run her down. I would run her down, begging and pleasing, flowers.
Yeah, you know, we're gonna do what we gotta do to get
I'm
you back,
singing
but-
in the rain.
Darn
I'm
about
doing
the
it all. Whatever. If
Outta
God
here.
forbid that would ever happen. But yeah, I would expect her to, because we set that up before we even got married. We said, hey, listen, you do this, I'm out. Oh, if you do this, yeah, I'm out too.
Yeah, we have
and now a lot of people probably look at it, they don't know what they'll do. And you really don't until you get into that situation. You like, dang, I never thought I'd be in this situation.
Yeah.
Maybe that could change out. God forbid, I would never want that to happen. Because I just don't think I could take that blow.
Yeah, it's certain things a man's ego can't. Like you said, I wouldn't. And I think I've said this to her. I didn't say you would hate me, but I was like, you wouldn't want to be married to me anymore.
That's the part I think people don't take into consideration is how miserable, even if you do stay, how miserable of a marriage you're going to be in. Because I don't even know you no more.
Who did I
Yeah,
marry?
them women, the ones that take them back, they put them in through hell.
For sure.
Like, woman, you should have just left them.
Just
you
leave
got to
me.
bring it up every 2 seconds. Like, no. That's why a lot of times in counseling with them, they have the counselor has to tell them, like, hey, if you're going to stay with him, you got to let it go.
That part.
It's over. It's over, almost like it never even happened. And most women can't do that, so I think they need to start leaving.
I have so much to say about that, but we're going to move on.
Yeah.
I have a question. I have a question for y'all. You have something else?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so I feel like women mainly want to know, how do y'all know someone is about to be your potential wife? Like, what's some signs that you feel like, it's giving wifey? Because we feel like y'all play a lot of games, and y'all know y'all about to play games. Like, y'all know it's a game y'all about to play.
But
with
see,
this woman.
the thing is, I wouldn't say we play games. We have to vet the person, and so if that involves, like you said men will try you. You know what I mean? Like, we'll try you on the first, second, third date
For sure.
to see, like, how good are you? You know, how committed are you?
You set us up, so you setting women up.
I wouldn't say
to see if they
setting
take
up,
the
but
bait.
I'm just saying, if you're talking about, I don't think women understand what it takes for a man to say, I want that one. Not them, not those. I want that one. This one for the rest of my life. She got to be special. She got to be different from the rest of them. I got to know that I can trust her with my children, with my family, when I'm not around. Like, it's all kind of thoughts that go through a man's head when you're talking about the one. Like, we just want one, not, you know what I'm saying? Like, it take a lot for a man to get to that point.
To one.
Yeah.
And so
You know what I mean?
So how long does that take y'all? Because sometimes I feel like y'all will even know that someone is wifey material, but you'll date her for 10 years.
Or you
just-
still know
no,
that
not
she's not,
necessarily.
right? Or you'll know that she's not.
and you'll still date her for 10 years.
Maybe. If,
So how soon are you like,
if that
boom.
man isn't ready to be a husband, he will hang on to that one that's special, because he sees it, even though he's not prepared to be her husband, not prepared to be faithful.
Yeah.
He still sees the things that another man will see in her that make her worthy of being a wife, and he don't want to lose that either.
So he holds
So
on.
he'll hang on to that and string her along and be like, oh, I'm gonna save this one for when I get right.
That's
Because she already
I didn't
right.
even think.
You know what I'm
about
saying?
that.
Like,
This is good,
Yeah.
ladies.
Don't be the saver. Okay, don't let them save you.
That's because typically I would have said that, a man would know, especially for those of your Christian faith or whatever, and you're trying to abstain, within 6 to 12 months if this is the one. But then it could be longer. Like he said, most of the time when we got a good woman, a really good woman, a lot of times we don't feel worthy. We like, man, okay, man, I got to get my money right. I need to get my credit right.
Yeah,
I need to make sure I got to set in this area. And a lot of times the stuff that we going through in our head, women like, man, we don't need to do none of that.
yeah, I was the same way.
But we just want to be
That's
this
the disconnect.
this Superman before we walk down
And
that aisle
we
with
want to
you.
take your raggedy ass down the aisle today.
Today.
The raggedy one.
Okay, the raggedy version.
Yes.
Give him to me.
Yeah.
So you're changing your answer
Right,
from 6
yeah.
months to 12. So you think
So
it could be
longer. It really could be longer. Yeah, if he doesn't feel fit. I never thought
depends on
about
where
that
he
till he
is,
said that.
you know?
So it has nothing to do with a woman. It has something to do with
could.
you.
I
lot of
think it has
times.
everything to do with a man, but he still would see the value in the woman.
Yeah.
Okay.
He may exploit it. He may use her up. But he gonna keep her around if she's worthy.
For sure.
Jesus.
Generally, he's gonna keep her around.
So ladies, you need to know your own value.
Please.
In
Because he
some
might see
capacity.
your value and he's still gonna play with
Yeah,
it.
in some capacity,
Isn't
if
that crazy?
if she allows it.
And she has to set that
Yeah,
standard.
if she allows it, he will.
Like I remember with you, she let me know like right away, like, hey, listen, we not doing this. I know with your last relationship, y'all was off and on for like 7, 8 years. It's not happening here. So if you want to deal, hey, you better go ahead.
This is what it
and
is.
wife me
Yeah.
up. She said she was the first one who set a standard. It wasn't just gonna like you want to be smashing me up for years.
And generally, that's a sign like that off and on relationship. The man who wants a break or the woman who wants a break, they see the value in that person.
Yeah,
but part of them may think, oh, I can get better. Or let me see if I can find better. You know what I mean? So let me keep this.
Let me see if I can find better. That's the dangerous part.
That's what a lot of people do.
That's the dangerous part better.
While you're with a woman, y'all are saying maybe there's better.
I'm not gonna say we, as in personally.
No, not
we're
we.
talking about the collective
of
some. You know, we're talking about some men that we may know or that we've had conversations with.
That's
but
exactly right.
You know, the male thought process sometimes is, okay, if you got somebody that's worthy of being a wife, you're not just gonna throw her back to the streets. Nope. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't gonna wife her, but you may
not wife her, but you ain't just throwing that. You know what I mean? Like it's like when you go fishing. You know, you catch a certain fish, you ain't throwing this one back. You know what I mean? Like I'm keeping this one. I'm gonna take a picture. I'm gonna just put it in the cooler. I'm gonna ride around on the boat with it for a little minute. I might throw it back later.
Keep this one for sure.
But I gotta show somebody. Somebody got to see this one.
That's awful.
Yeah.
That's awful.
It is awful.
Terrible, guys.
So, without incriminating anyone that anybody here may personally know, I want to ask this question based on reality because I feel like a lot of times people have these conversations based on just like a figment of our imagination. So, thinking of people y'all know in real life, real examples, what are y'all seeing as being causes of divorce in your circles, just from people you know, as much as you can say or not, but just real life examples versus like
I would say it's one thing. I think it's like a build up. So I think a lot of times people, men and women, aren't vetting their spouses properly. They're looking at something they can get from the person. They may be looking at what the person would make them look like, you know, the whole power couple thing, and she make this, I make that, and we can have this together. So I think that's part of the problem. So I think when they get into a relationship and you have difficulty, and it's like you're not really in it for the right reasons. And so it's easy for a man to stray if, you know, the woman isn't doing something in the home that he wants her to do. You know, she may not be cooking 4 times a week. And
tell my business one more time. That's not what we're doing down at this podcast.
Stop it.
Okay.
We're not talking about you.
Yeah.
You cooked last night.
I did. Hello. And this morning, thank you. Okay, that was
homemade waffles and stuff.
Thank you.
Stop it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so from the ones that I know is usually they're not willing to compromise. Like they have their ways, they're stuck in their ways, and you can either get with their ways or eventually you can get gone. You don't want to get down with this. Well, then, you know, like he said, they're not vetting it out. They're not actually sitting down and, okay, what do you actually like? Well, okay, on Sundays, that's a ritual. Like you're doing football all day. Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah, it's like,
you know, and are you okay with this? Or, you know, she likes to be with her mom on a certain day, and we don't have these conversations. This is why we kind of get beat up, because we like, hey, I need to wait on the sex and all that. And the reason being is because we're not having enough conversations. Because you get cloudy once you get
them endorphins
that physical
and that physical part.
It's a wrap, especially for the woman, you know, and then the man sometimes too. Really good. So, you know what I'm saying? So now you're not thinking right. You thinking with the wrong head, and you missing all of these things, because if this was more of what we believe most dating should be, with like an interviewing process where it's like, hey, so where do you see yourself in 5 years? Okay. What is your credit like? Okay, no, can you pull that up? Can we see that? Like, you understand? Those type of things, I'm vetting you out. I'm really seeing if this is somebody that I want to live the rest of my life with. And this is for those that want to be married. We're not talking about those that just want to go out and just play a little bit. If y'all want to go play, go waste a few more years with another boyfriend or girlfriend for another 2 to 3 years, that's cool. But for those who want to actually be married, then stop smashing and actually look at somebody and be like, okay, cool, I need to know who you are.
Know what you're getting.
And that's what we just see. People aren't willing to compromise because they never knew each other in the first place.
Yeah.
Unrealistic expectations. I think that's what it is. Going in with unrealistic expectations that are never met, that you've probably never voiced, like never had a conversation about, but you expected because your mom did things a certain way, because your dad did things a certain way. You expected this person to literally become what you saw.
But you don't even recognize what those expectations are, so you definitely can't communicate them and explain them to somebody else. I think for the women that I know, it is getting into marriage because it was the next thing to do. It was marrying the man that was here at the time for the wrong reasons, because it was time. My clock was ticking. It was getting louder.
30 years
and
old.
now whoever is here, and I've literally heard people mention this about having kids. Like whoever I'm dating at 30, that's just gonna be my baby dad. Like whoever is in line at this time, you next. And the result of that is usually extreme discomfort, unhappiness. You know, like you're not going to, in my opinion, you're not ever going to get to the healthy, happy marriage if it doesn't start with at least a healthy intention. Yeah. Not to say that it has to be perfect, but if you enter a marriage specifically or any type of commitment trying to take advantage of someone, trying to manipulate someone, getting into it for the wrong reasons, I just don't think you could put a lot of good on top of some bad shit.
Your intention, the intentions have to be pure from the beginning.
It's not gonna work out.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's doomed. It's bound to fail.
That's
For sure.
I feel like my answer is probably aligning with yours, and I think it's just not dating well. Like we're not actually dating for the purposes of thank you for the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
The perfect example that comes to my head is Jeannie Ma and Jeezy, who these people said that they had a phenomenal dating season during COVID
Yeah, it was the
each other.
pandemic. They said
Pandemic.
2020 when they were
Phenomenal
like,
dating seasons with each other.
phenomenal dating season. They spent a lot of time together. They got to know each other. And then you get married and you divorce because she wants to walk the daughter to school and you didn't agree. And it's like, why did we talk about y'all values for holidays, how you will raise your children?
Family.
So what was quality dating for you? What did that actually mean? What what does quality dating mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like that even though we didn't necessarily date, Nnamdi asked some phenomenal questions like, how do you feel about this? And this credit is like this. And okay, what if you have to go to work? Are you going to feel good about that? Because you're stay home now. But what if that changes? How do you feel? My mama might be a little cuckoo. How you going to work with that?
You got to know that.
Yeah, you got to ask all of those questions. So I feel like people just aren't dating well, especially for the people that I know, the women that I know are all Christians. They're all believers. And it's like, oh, we're having sex, we're in sin, let's get married.
Yeah.
Oh, let's fix it with the marriage.
Because that was one of my main reasons. Yeah, it was like, I'm pregnant. I'm not about to be out here looking like a hoe. Like, you need to put a ring on this and hurry up. And so the pressure of religious beliefs, the pressure of family, the pressure of your own time, your clock in your head. But I think it's mainly like we just aren't properly setting down. One, knowing our non-negotiables. What is your non-negotiable? What is something, we talk about deal breakers in marriage. No, we need to talk about deal breakers before marriage. What is something, if you do this, it's done. And just having those conversations of just good questions in dating. I feel like we could avoid.
And not being
getting
afraid.
to know the person, really.
I think women though are afraid to ask questions because we really don't want to know the answer, or we don't want to make you feel uncomfortable, or we don't want to ruffle any feathers, or we don't want you. We want to keep you. We want to keep you around. So we want to make sure we keep things comfortable and peaceful and quiet. And real quick, because I know you have a question, but I literally was y'all podcast people. Y'all telling all y'all business on these podcasts, giving us plenty to talk about.
For sure.
But a divorced woman was talking about the fact that she literally married, when the man proposed, she married him because her father was sick. And she had this childhood dream of her dad walking her down the aisle. So she wanted to get married before her father passed away, seriously, and ended up divorcing this man.
But
those are the things that women are thinking about, though. How can I need to get married before this age? Or I need to get married so this person could be there.
That's scary.
But I have a theory on that.
Real.
And we've talked about it. Like, I feel like most women, regardless of who they're dating and how they feel about him, if he asks, if he presents a ring, they'll say yes.
1,000%. We might say no later.
I would say
99%
of the time, that woman's going to say yes, even if she isn't
1,000%.
in love with that man, even if she doesn't see him as her knight in shining armor, or he's
I agree with that.
Epitome of what she sees in a husband. She's not going to say no to that ring.
No, because we are raised to desire becoming a wife. So if a man chooses us, I don't care, y'all come and pick me all day. But that is what a woman desires, naturally. Y'all don't have to admit it, whatever. But a woman desires to be chosen.
Yeah.
So if you are getting down on your knee and you are showing me that you would like to choose me, hell yeah, let's do it. Now, I might change my mind later, but I'm at least gone.
They gonna say that night. They're gonna enjoy that night. They're gonna enjoy that night, that weekend, the family, the bottles popping, and baby.
You don't know it was a man on that knee.
And then come Monday morning, she gonna be like, "Girl, we need to talk. I don't know." You know what I'm saying?
No, that's so true.
I believe it, bro. I've seen it so many times to where, like, wait a minute.
And a lot of times too, though, I don't know how real we gonna keep it, but a lot of times we get in too deep and we feel like we've done too much. It's been too long. We can't turn back now. When I was engaged, I definitely knew. I saw the red flags. I felt it in my gut. I knew this was not right. I knew it wasn't right. And I had to make the very hard decision to walk away.
That's most women.
Most women, they don't. It's tough. It's tough to have all of the things that you think you want, and then you're going to decide, no, I don't want this because it doesn't feel right. So I think a lot of people feel that feeling, and then they keep moving forward instead of feeling that feeling and saying, okay, I know this all looks good, but I want to feel good. I want the good feeling to go with it and not just the good looking.
Yeah, for sure.
And also, I think this whole, like you said, they had a phenomenal dating phase. Dating and marriage are completely different.
Definitely.
Like, I mean, polar opposites.
You think so?
Yes, of course.
So
Like,
what's
you
so
can
different?
date in a marriage, but like when we were dating versus when we were married, it's totally different. Everything from the
difference?
money to what we eating for dinner. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Things are
you
separate.
want something.
The
Hey, I'm like, hey, babe, I'm finna go down
that
to the
part.
wing
that
stop
part,
or whatever.
okay.
I'll be
The
back in a minute.
seriousness
Versus like,
of
oh no, we eating dinner as a family.
Okay.
You not. I just cook.
That's
You better
facts.
eat these.
You gonna sit down.
You gonna sit down
This
tonight.
chicken.
Okay,
It's different.
true.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
sure.
It's totally different.
Okay, true.
Yeah.
You can just entertain people when you're dating.
And send you home.
Yep.
Entertain you, send you home. Go on a
Get up-
trip, go home.
Get upset.
See you
I go
for
to my place. you
4,
go
5
yours.
days. All right, I need a break. Go home.
Well,
You
speaking
get
of
back from that trip, we going home together. You know what
Exactly.
I mean?
that is true.
You know what I mean?
Going
It's
back home
different.
together. Okay, speaking of getting down on one knee, y'all. When did you feel like y'all were ready to be a husband? Because I feel like there's pressure behind a woman being prepared. Do y'all feel like there was?
Y'all ain't got to do shit but buy a ring, huh? Do y'all feel like that?
I mean,
Or do
yeah,
y'all feel-
it was definitely pressure. Because I was married before.
Dun, dun, dun.
Just you talking about it.
Said it, guys.
Yeah, so
I was gonna tell you
I was
business.
divorced, and after the divorce, I wouldn't say I was one of those guys that was like, no, I probably was. And I was like, I ain't doing this again.
He was gonna be a
You know?
old player.
How long were you married?
I was married 3.5 years.
Okay.
So long enough, but not too long.
Yeah, I was gonna say not
Yeah.
not long
But
enough
I was
that you were
young,
deeply
though.
scarred.
You know, I was young. But after that, I was like, this is for the birds. Like, why would I do this again?
So what changed?
Meeting somebody that was worth taking that risk on. You know what I mean? Duh.
Ta-da!
I mean, when you date, you notice when you see somebody that stands out. And you stood out. You know what I mean? That's what it was.
Thanks, Boo.
That's so. Wait, so
He didn't answer the question.
No, you
so
didn't.
Let
Okay,
Nnamdi
move it
answer.
on.
He
Okay.
can think about it.
So how did you know you were husband quality, husband material?
Yeah, I knew before you. Once I got, deep in, my relationship with God, once that started to grow and I replaced my ways with his ways and said, you know what, I don't want to be out here just fornicating and all this and continue. I already had 2 kids with 2 different women. So at that time, kind of almost like I wasn't married, but at that time I was like, okay, I need to try to marry the girl I'm with. So I went ahead and did that. I didn't marry her, but I did propose to her, got engaged. And it was like, okay, I don't think I could do this because one of my mentor, Dr. Vernon, says, "Don't marry potential, marry reality." And I'm like,
reality.
I don't think I can really do this for the rest of my life with her. And so I said, if I really love her, I got to let her go. So I knew that I was ready, and I knew my non-negotiables at this time. I said, okay, because I had been through enough relationships, I said, I know what I don't want no more. Okay, so here's my non-negotiables. If I meet this type of woman, I know she the one. So, shoot, I'd probably say, I knew you was one probably within a month or 2. I was like, this is it. As long as everything else add up, once we talk about money and what she believes about and what's her well, we had already got the relationship with your dad. When I found out that you and your dad was cool, because I had been with nothing against, please forgive me, any woman who did not have a good relationship with your dad. But from my experience, oh my gosh, I took on the pain of every woman that I dated that did not have their daddy.
Yeah,
like,
that's
so when
real.
she
That's
got
a-
at
that's a
me,
real- that's a
it was
real
like
thing.
she was talking to her daddy. I'm like, no, I did not want no more of that. No more of the neck pop. So, because I was ready to go to a different race.
This man said we were
Whoa.
friends because we were friends,
Yeah.
and he was like, I think I want to start dating a white girl. I said, don't do that, sir.
Yeah. She said you should
Not
just
yet.
I'm
wait a
about to
little.
go to the white side.
Not yet. I said,
Yeah.
not yet.
You was going all the way over.
Oh, I
you
was-
weren't
I
even
was-
going
I was
to
done.
love with the Puerto Rico.
I didn't want
friend.
nobody else
Y'all was
was
going down
popping off in my
Punta Cana.
face. Dang near
No.
provoked me to violence. I'm like, nope, I don't want to. I
You
don't want to
wanted
do
a
it.
You was like,
What-
I want
I wanted
somebody.
somebody.
Was it-
I said, babe, I'm doing this. Okay,
So that was
You
my
wanted-
question.
so it was
What
more
is
the
it about
attitude.
Agreeable.
agreeable?
Or is the
That's
okay.
it. Agreeable.
Yeah.
That's what I saw. Like when I was working in retail stores and people were coming in, you'll see a dude, man, he come in there, brother, be like, yeah, man, I want to get this phone. I bet, yeah, babe, go ahead and get you the best phone. I'll take this.
For real.
I'll just take yours.
Yeah,
I'm
for
like,
real.
I want one of those.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm telling.
One of my homies had one.
I'm telling you.
He had a woman like
I ain't
that.
never
And
dated
she let him
one.
do.
I've seen
She let him do everything.
Anything.
So he would cheat and she would be good.
And y'all wanted that.
And
That's
I
what
just
you
wanted
want?
somebody so agreeable.
I think it's.
Wait, hold on.
No, I didn't get
I
that.
just have to
But,
ask this.
you know,
Y'all automatically or connect other races with agreeability. Is that a word? Y'all automatically like say black women, y'all are not
We're
that.
difficult. Black women,
White women are
difficult.
agreeable,
I wouldn't say
submissive.
certain races. I think
I think that's
when you see
stereotype.
something different. Was it race for you? Was it like, oh, only white girls are like this? I think
most of the time it was white girls, or I'm gonna get me a Nigerian girl who from my culture.
Culture.
I'm half
Yeah, yeah.
Nigerian.
I was
so.
gonna say I think it's anything outside of
I was gonna
black
say,
women. Because Nigerians are super
Nigerians are
submissive.
very,
Spanish women,
it's
well,
Black American women.
maybe the
is
ones
what
I know.
y'all are
I
talking
feel like they're a
about.
little more assertive. I think
Who's that?
black women.
Nigerian women, they're very.
No, not the ones that's
Silence.
like raised there.
Maybe the ones raised
with
I
a
was
mom
gonna
and
say,
dad. That was
Maybe because I
women are
work with.
silent.
I think I'm thinking about the ones I work with versus like
they didn't turn Americanized.
I've met women from Ghana.
Okay.
And I feel like some of them are a little more submissive.
Oh,
The Nigerian women I've met have been very.
What's their professions?
They bossed up. Yeah, they.
Okay.
She's a pharmacist, yeah.
There
Don't
you
get
go.
us culturally
Yeah, we're not
canceled.
gonna like
Y'all know,
generalize. I'm sorry.
crossing the water.
I
all my
apologize.
sisters straight up.
Please.
Black is black
That was in my
at the end of the day.
20s, and that's how I saw
That's
it.
how they
And
think
I
of
just
it.
had
That's-
some
that's
trauma.
true, though.
I went through
That's how
some
they think,
stuff.
No, it's a real thing, and I think that's why a lot of the athletes go in that direction.
Yup.
Because coming up, you gotta think
Most the single mama thing.
when you're the star athlete,
That's the thing.
you get a different level of treatment sometimes from the other race. They take you in.
You're my good boy.
You know, they adopt you and send you to the best school. I've
that's
seen
true.
this.
That's very
I mean,
true.
I wasn't that
That's
kid, but
very
I've seen those kids
about
get.
that movie.
I'm talking about the whole family just.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Don't let them have a girlfriend. It's just like, oh, we friends with the white boy.
Yeah.
We cool. They mama gonna take care of me now. But if they get a white girlfriend early, man,
you got
I've
a new
seen
life.
it.
It's a new life.
It's a different
basically.
life.
It's
Sometimes.
basically a new life.
So I mean, I can get it, but I like my
Come on.
my
Thank you.
Oh, yeah,
Thank
yeah. I'm so
Appreciate
glad
it.
I.
You stayed on this side. Thank
But
you, Nnamdi.
Thank you
But
for
I do.
staying.
I will say
And we
when we
cook
talk
with
about divorce, I think that's one of the biggest complaints for black men.
What? Not
The
being
attitude, the disrespect, and the hostility from black women.
Yeah.
So you
From
just
their
answered
women. Let
my
me
next-
not say
I know, I was
black
gonna
women
ask
because it
That was the
that-
question.
Sir, you
Yeah.
answered
Yeah.
a question.
What was
Answer the
that?
question.
So my question was,
Moving ahead.
what's one of the desires that men have in marriage that women overlook? Like something that we just don't think twice about. But I think that is probably part of your answer is how we are, the temperature that we keep the home, basically. The atmosphere that we create, our attitude, our spirit, right?
Yeah. I mean, we don't have those problems. So.
Well, we ain't talking about
know?
me and you. We helping the people out there.
But I think men, they desire peace at the end of the day.
Come on.
That's really what it is. I know we use that word a lot.
Come on.
And y'all think it's taboo and it's overplayed now, but men just
Oh,
want.
it's not.
What does
men
that mean?
want-
What does peace look like?
So
Please.
if I'm working hard all day, and say it's Monday night football, and not to bring it back to sports or anything, but let's say I'm working, I want to come home and I want to watch the game. But as soon as I step in the door, my wife has a list of chores, or as soon as I turn the TV on, she's complaining about the fact that I'm watching the game, even though she knew I was going to watch this game. She know I watch the game every week, but every week she finds some way to ignore me during this game. She finds some way to complain about why am I watching this game? How long am I going to watch the game? What time does the game go off? When is halftime? You know what I mean? So like, that's not peaceful. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even watch that much football, but I just know if I did, it probably would be an issue.
No.
But yeah, just that's so like being able to come home and relax at times.
Have like
And have
your
leisure,
sanctuary.
have a sanctuary, have leisure activities that you can do uninterrupted, without judgment or without ridicule, without a clock. All right, you can do it, but you better be done by 7:30.
Okay.
Whereas maybe the white girl's like, oh yeah, honey. Matter of fact, I got you.
all night.
Yeah, so just peace, just cooperative.
Not getting on your damn nerves.
Not getting on your damn
Okay,
nerves.
got you.
What was the question?
What is something that men value in marriage that women might overlook?
Man, I don't know if every man, but I believe that I think men do value like, I don't know, dang. I would say the peace, like he said. I would say peace, definitely. And then also the cooking. I do believe that a lot of men value the cooking. So if you don't know how to, just learning it a little bit. Like she didn't really know.
I was gonna say, is he talking to you specifically? I couldn't see your face. I couldn't tell. I was trying to peek around. Like, is this personal?
Hey, man, y'all asking these questions, so we don't know we answering them from our personal perspective, or we answering them from the male collective.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
Because
it's
not
different.
personal. I was gonna say a big one. Something that you have communicated with me is emotional safety.
Oh yeah.
That was a
definitely.
Black women will throw stuff back in your face.
So I believe that yes, emotional safety is big.
Define that.
Please.
Just being able to express what I'm feeling without later being emasculated for it. So like now you know my innermost, deepest fears, thoughts, all those things. And you're not going to throw this back at me when we're in an argument or when you see that frailty in real, played out. So I believe that most men don't want to uncover that. Most of them, I'm going to tell you right now, most men are not okay. They're not okay. I'm in men's groups. I went to a marriage conference and we had a breakout session with men. Most of them started asking questions about how do I deal with my alpha woman wife. I'm talking about one did it, and then all of a sudden another hand went up. And it was basically the same time. How do I deal with this? And we already have all these other pressures. We see everything on social media. We didn't, our father, our grandparents didn't have that pressure of seeing the man next door and all that he's achieving. Now we see that. We know our wife sees that. And so now she taking on like, dang, man, they done went on a lot of vacations. When are we gonna go on a
Exactly.
And so now you feeling the pressure to do that. On top of you got to pay the bills. On top of you got to, work on yourself as a man to be there. So we have some emotional issues. And one of my mentors say that how you're doing emotionally is really how you're doing. Point blank, period. And I don't believe many of us are doing well emotionally, and we need to go through therapy and all that, and we're not getting it. So I'm thankful for seeing like somebody like Charlamagne who's always talking about that, because man, we go through some things in there and we don't feel safe enough with most women to say, hey, this is what I'm going through. Can you not throw this back at me?
So imagining y'all going through all of those things, suffering in silence, which is what most men do, and then you come home and she got an attitude in your face. Oh, ladies, it's not looking good for us. We got to get shit together.
Yeah,
Because who would sign up for that? Just logically speaking, like take your emotions out of it. I know you be the baddest thing that God ever created, but who would logically sign up to commit to that? To commit to that.
Mistreated.
Chaos.
Miserable for the rest of their life.
Live in chaos.
Big chaos.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about this.
Same here.
I don't share the same views and opinions as everyone, but I know guys that feel like it's not, like marriage isn't worth being married anymore. Like for black men, a lot of black men don't see the value in marriage outside of having a family. I think most black men want a family under one roof with one woman, but they don't see the value in it anymore, because most of them are going to end up divorced. They're going to end up giving half of their wealth away, the little bit that they do have. And then they ridicule for the little bit that they have. That's what we talk like with Kevin Samuels. I was telling people they focused on what he was saying to women, but nobody talked about what those women were really saying about black men.
They were saying, where the bag?
Six figures.
Yeah. They were saying the average black man is not good enough for me.
Where is this at?
There you go.
How many of those people do you know? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we saying to black men now? Your value is only here if you have this. Yeah. You don't think black men saw what was going on Kevin Samuels' show? That's why they cheered for him.
Come on,
because they felt like he stood up for black men.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what it was.
And now they
feel
got
like
multiple little
nobody talks
channels
about that
out
part
there.
of it, yeah.
That's
all
really
the
like
kids.
That's
still
where
saying what
that
he said.
whole what is it called?
Red pill?
The red pill.
red
I don't
pill.
even know why they call it red
Yeah.
pill, but that's where a lot of that is coming
so?
from. It's coming from
I halfway be agree sometimes with him.
frustration
Like,
of
Yeah,
Damn.
Nami
Men.
says am I the red?
you're red pill.
red
Yeah.
pill.
I'm so
the-
sorry.
I'm the people that everybody don't like.
yeah.
She's
Because when I look at Kevin Samuels, that's why I'm like, you saying a curse word to many people.
Yeah,
when
yeah.
I looked at that, I'm like, this is true, y'all.
is
Like,
true.
we literally have so many women that are delusional. It's
Yeah.
like, you cannot expect the top 10% and you're not the top 10% woman. You cannot expect for a man to rescue you in your, okay, let me not say it all. So, yeah.
It's logical. Again, it's using your logic. Okay, forget the emotion. Use your
Yeah.
logic. Does that even make sense?
Does it make
We can be
sense?
so brilliant. We can have all the degrees, all the accolades, all the accomplishments, but then we act like a fool when it comes to relationships.
But it's like what you're saying though, bro. Like a lot of men aren't okay.
they aren't.
I can just imagine how many men internalize the things that were being said on these podcasts.
Ladies, check
You know what I'm
on
saying?
your man.
Check on your
Especially if you
man.
with a woman who has probably said something to you about your career or the money you make.
That's
and now
real.
you see it going rampant on social media and she's sitting over there like,
Yeah.
I did say that.
And I'd say women
what's going
check,
on out here.
Women check on your man and do what this is something that Pastor Philip gave us. It says safety circle. Let him talk and you can't rebuttal nothing.
Yeah, don't say nothing.
Let him just talk, give him a safe space, and that you're not gonna bring it back up later or anything. Let him have that safety circle. Let him spill out his guts and let him know I will never bring this up. I promise you. Yeah, check on your man.
Be friends. Just be friends.
That's
Just
good.
treat your mate like a human that you actually like.
Come
I
on.
think that things would just. I feel like, and I don't know anybody that's not really black. So my perspective is based on black people. But I feel like a lot
She
of.
live in a bubble though. I ain't
I'm
gonna
sorry.
lie. She
I'm
live
living
in
a black
She's
bubble.
been an
A black
entrepreneur
ass
in
bubble. I
Atlanta
went to HBCU.
for 10 years. Went to
moved Atlanta.
HBCU.
I know black people. I'm sorry.
So
Wow.
like,
But
we
the-
see white people at the doctor's
Yeah.
office. You know, I see them every day at work,
Seriously.
but she don't see no
I'm
white
sorry.
people.
But
Wow.
so
They
this
don't
is based
exist.
on black people, what I'm about to say.
Oh,
but
my
I feel
goodness.
like it is almost taboo to like be nice to your man or like have kind words
Kind
to
words.
say.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like we feel like we have to
Dumb
run
down.
our man
Yeah, it's
or
like-
tell him like it's such a position that we have. I don't know if we put ourselves in that position or we are seeing our mama talking bad to
That's-
some- or where it came from, but
that's
we don't feel like we should be nice and soft and gentle and loving
Gentle.
to our partners, and I feel like that's a
Be gentle.
that's a big part. That's
Treat us like how. Who said this?
Stefan, talk to your man like you talk to a baby. It should soften you up
Think
when your
about-
man walk in the room.
I mean, you do this, but like how you talk to our sons.
yeah, my babies.
You know what I'm saying?
They
said
make me
that.
melt.
I'm telling
No,
you.
you literally said that about talking to the little boy in y'all.
Yes, yes. I
brought
was
that
just
up.
talking about that. Yeah, I was. Well, I actually
Like, look at your
saw. I can't remember where I
muscles.
saw, it, but there's like every man has this little boy complex. So it's like when you was little, it's like they would walk in and be like, "Look at you and your muscles." They be like, "Oh, for real?" You know, they start doing something, or if they could sing or something, be like, "Oh my God, listen to you can sing or whatever." And when you start doing those things, to me, like, what for real? So like, if I walk in and she like, "Okay, Chess," I'm like, "Oh, you can tell." Oh, okay. I started to see
You go a little hard in the
six-pack.
gym, yeah.
Okay, shoot, let me
a little harder.
The check
Yeah.
come in. Oh, okay,
most men
check,
go
whatever
unnoticed.
the amount is. Do that.
So speaking life into your
Speaking
man,
that life
it goes
into 'em.
a long
Most men go
way.
unnoticed. Like, I don't think women understand that because even if you are married and you have a relationship, like you said, you were in the line, he didn't even notice it. The dude turn around, hey, you,
At all.
what's up?
I ain't even
We
see
don't
it.
get that
At all.
Don't nobody see nothing we do or got on. Or, I'm telling you,
Okay.
we literally walk out the door.
Man of God,
Outside of being
baby.
at work and like having a responsibility for whatever your job is, like
Y'all
most
not
men
getting
go
no love.
unnoticed in this world.
That's
Real
pretty
talk.
awful.
Like real.
Real talk.
You go to the grocery store, ain't nobody speak to you. Ain't nobody say good morning. Anybody hold no door for you?
Nope.
Y'all want the door held for y'all?
I'm just saying.
Can you say thank you when
Y'all
I
need
do
some
it?
love too. Y'all
But you
need some love
notice it
too.
when somebody walk in the door before you and they just
Yeah.
let it close.
Yeah.
Versus
Oh, for
like
sure.
when you walk in, you like, all right, let me see if somebody behind me. It's the lady. Oh, go ahead. You know, it's just a difference.
Treat your man.
We ain't out here crying about it. I'm just
Nice,
saying
nice.
that
Y'all crying
that
on the
changes the way you interact with the world.
Yeah.
You know, you haven't been talked to softly in a long time. Like the first harsh word you hear, you
Not gonna
well,
hear.
what's up?
What's up?
You know, like that's why men don't take disrespect well. So you'll see a man arguing it's like, nah.
For sure.
Okay, well, let's move into. We got to skip the game, y'all. We've been talking too much. We're gonna skip the game.
I knew that.
But we have a segment called Wifey for Lifey, where we give advice for women who are trying to be wives for life.
Period.
Which is the two of us. So this week, we would like for y'all to answer one question. How can wives be more submissive in their marriages? One answer. Please don't give a laundry list.
Okay.
Just one, guys.
Just one answer.
Just one answer. One way.
I don't know. I give you one.
Submissive.
I would say listen more than you speak.
Now is that a general rule of advice, or is that for your wife
Break it down.
specifically? Is that something I need to work on, or is that women in general?
That's a general.
Okay,
That's a general.
okay.
Yeah, that's general.
What you got,
We're going to
Nnamdi?
get specific.
No. We'll talk later.
Pacific.
We'll talk later.
One more time, pose a question.
One way that women. Oh, go ahead, girl. Tell your man. Girl.
One way to be more submissive.
One way to be more.
One thing.
One thing. Man, give that man a massage. Give him a massage. I mean,
Be
sometimes
more,
I gotta commend my wife's. Even though it was kind of awkward the first time she did, she went down, started rubbing my feet. I'm like, hey, man, come on, what you doing? She does that. So yeah, rub that man.
Don't say it again, y'all. I got a peace thing.
Hold on, wait a minute. What's going on out here in these marriage streets? I need to take some notes. Because my wife used to be what do y'all call it?
In the episode.
What's the term?
Guys, I was a
Esthetician?
nail
That's not
tech. I
nail
have
tech.
horror stories from doing
My
bad
wife
pedicures.
used to be a nail
I have
tech.
PTSD from bad pedicures. Okay,
And-
I did some bad pedicures.
Well, you gotta do your husband feet. That's you gotta go under
Listen.
the nail. You gotta file it up, make sure it's clean.
And mine ain't nice, so
Bruh. I thought I hit the jackpot. 'Cause I like him. I ain't gonna front.
Soak
I
him in
like giving my
water.
feet.
So the next
Take
segment
care.
is called.
No, we go on this segment.
Okay, so this
we
next
said one
segment-
thing.
You did your one. No, you did your
I thought it was
one.
going back and forth. Is it
No, you
one and a
did
two?
no a one and
Is it
a
a one and a two?
no, a one and a two.
Oh, okay.
All right, so our last segment.
yeah.
You doing this one, Tekeishia? Okay, our last segment is Wifey Keeps It Spicy.
Yes.
Because as we are trying to stay wives for life, we got to keep it spicy too.
So something dropped in my spirit earlier, y'all, and y'all know the saying naughty and nice. And I wanted to break down what actually nice means. Because a lot of us think that's just cute, that's just dressing well. Well, nice means acting right, okay? Everybody's a freak. Everybody know how to be a hoe. Everybody know how to throw it back. Everybody know how to fill in the blank. But do you know how to be submissive? Do you know how to care? Do you know how to cook? Do you know how to outserve? One of the things that I've realized in my marriage is that, okay, I know what to do in the bedroom. That's going to get done. But maybe because I got a different man of God, but if I'm not treating him right, he going to get one off. But like, did we make love? Did we actually connect intimately? Did this do anything for our marriage? Did this build the safety in our marriage? And so not just gaining or trying to be naughty, but wanting to be nice. And I wish I had the full definition of meek. And I know this is a curse word to women. Being meek, which is being quiet, knowing how to shut up sometimes, knowing how to not share your opinion, knowing not how to
Not be rah-rah.
do all of this. But sometimes when your man is wrong, let him be wrong. Let him steer and drive that car in the wrong direction. We're going to be over here. We might be 10 minutes late to where we going. But you feel like the man the whole way. And then when he get home, he's going to do what's right. He's going to serve you the way that you want to be served. And just a few practical tips that I wanted to give to y'all is work on your attitude. I can't even give y'all any type of like big things if we're not working on foundational work. Like your emotional wounds. You mad at your husband for what your ex did. You mad at your husband for what how your baby daddy treated you. Your mama is like this. Your friends is like this. The men on social media. Work on the foundation, because if you are not emotionally mature, emotionally stable, there's no way you can be quiet and be still. Do you know how much strength it takes to watch your man lead you in the wrong direction and be like, yes, big daddy, you got it? That's a different type of maturity. And that is what it takes to be a good wife. Because when he is wrong, when he is ready to admit that he's wrong, you didn't emasculate him on the way. You didn't tear him down on the way. And so we have to work on ourselves, work on that foundational work. Number 2, master gratitude. This is affirming and uplifting. One of the things that I learned real quickly is foreplay is respect. Foreplay is how I talk to you. Foreplay is how I serve you. So I'm laying down the foundation of gratitude. Thank you for working today. Thank you for going in these streets and bringing home the bacon. Thank you for, you only swept once a month, but thank you for that. You cleaned this restroom. You were supposed to do it every Saturday. It happened once this year. Thank you for that. And just showing that gratitude, that's something that we have in our house, is just out showing one another gratitude, being grateful, because you could be single. You could have a man that don't want to do nothing, that don't want to go to work, that want to sit on the couch and play football games and cheat on your butt. But you got a man that's working. You got a man that's cleaning the house once a month. That's enough. Number 3, stop being selfish. I feel like a lot of women are getting into marriage seeing how much can I get from this man? How much can I pull and extract? How many bills can he pay? How many rings can I get? How many times can I upgrade my diamond? What's the most expensive wig and weave that I can get out of this? But getting to a place where, nah, I want to outdo you in this. I want to outdo you in service. So you got me the ring. Guess what? I flipped this whole house upside down. Now we can sell it. We got 100,000 profit. Look what I did for you, Big Daddy. And literally having a competition without serving your man, and knowing that it's not about him pouring back into your cup, but it's about God. When you are filling yourself up, back to number 1, getting that ground foundational work done, you will know that your husband is not your God, your savior. So he can't fill me up anyways, not in all areas. So the things that you do, you are doing that unto God. How you serve him is unto God. How you love him is unto God. How you respect him is unto God. And if you believe in God, that man gonna get right anyways. And so being almost competitive in how much you serve each other and out serving one another. So I just want to encourage y'all to not just be naughty, but be nice.
Come on, be nice. Well, we can drop the mic on that one, because I feel, after you mentioned the feet, what else did they mention that you're going to bring up later? Jesus, this is not really working out the way that
I'm not giving away
expected it.
Not giving away my guns now. I'm gonna pull them out when I'm ready.
I will
but
let y'all know how this
just
works
know
out for me,
they
because
coming
that's
out.
not what was supposed to happen, y'all. If y'all enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend, okay?
Please.
I feel like this was some necessary conversation that I have not
for
heard
sure.
on the internet. So tell a friend to come on over to Wifed Up Now What if you are ready for this marriage management conversation. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next episode.